I would like to start maybe with a quick introduction of our speakers today. So together with me, my colleague Dmitry Buryak will be speaking about clean core extensions. Dmitry is the head of corporate user interfaces development at LeverX, and he's leading the team responsible for BTP and Fiori developments. And we have a special guest, Soumya Sekhar Das from AWS. Soumya is a senior partner solutions architect. Soumya, happy to have you here. See you there again in one of our webinars. And finally, myself, Sergey Valenda, leading a department responsible for automated solutions development at LeverX and heavily engaged in all of the BTP activities which are happening in LeverX company. So as a part of our agenda, we will briefly review current state of AI within the BTP. Soumya will give a short introduction into SAP on AWS capabilities and how to innovate faster with a clean core on AWS services. And then we will just review two use cases. One is the most common, the digital assistant implementation using GenAI Hub and vector search within the BTP solution. And after that, Dmitry will give us a demo and a presentation of Build AI Build Code capability and how to develop the clean core extensions using this capability. And we will finish with AWS capabilities, which can be added on top of the BTP services and tools to innovate faster in the cloud. And at the end, we'll finish with a presentation of our Enterprise Innovation Center and give you the clear start message of how to drive the digital transformation with a trusted SAP vendor. We are also open for the questions, and we will collect all of your questions that you will type in for this broadcast, and we will answer them at the very end of our webinar. For those of you who hadn't heard about LeverX before, we are a global system integrator and also a global strategic supplier of SAP. We are operating here more than 21 years already, started in the Silicon Valley, currently headquartered in Miami. We have more than 1,600 of employees within our offices in 9 countries. And we are also partner of hyperscalers and specifically the partner of AWS. What's also more important to tell about that within the LeverX organization, we have another subdivision or brand name that is called Emerline, which is also responsible for full software development services for emerging companies. So we know both sides of the business, SAP and non-SAP. I would like to start with a brief overview of AI capabilities, which we currently have or might receive in the nearest time in the BTP portfolio. SAP is typically dividing them into 3 main categories, like capabilities for developer, data steward or analyst, and the BTP administrator. So from the developer perspective, of course, one of the key pillars here, one of the key capabilities is the generative AI Hub. The feature was released beginning of this year mainly, and currently this serves as a proxy to the world of large language models and connecting these large language models with the internal services which are deployed within the BTP platform. Another capability that we will also review today is called the SAP Build Code. So it was available beginning of this year in March. We have it live from this March, and this is a tool that Dmitry will speak about and show with a live demo by demonstrating of how to use this engine to generate a real application, real code, and build clean core extensions for SAP S/4HANA solutions. So secondly, there are multiple other things like ABAP runtime, which is also support the GenAI capabilities very soon, the build process automation and integration suite. Integration suite also received GenAI capabilities recently, so you can also generate the iFlows currently using this embedded assistant. So you see how huge becomes the developer portfolio of the BTP with this new AI services and new AI offerings. From the data perspective, we also have a couple of new things. So first of all, this is the DataSphere knowledge graph that was released recently, which helps to build the ontologies for the data, to analyze these connections and automate a lot of different routine operations, which were previously done by data experts. In SAP Analytics Cloud, we received Just Ask, the digital assistant that supports this real-time queries, real-time query generation to the data. So you don't longer need to use these UI operations. You can just type your questions, and SAC will report back to you with all of the kind of results here. And a couple of other things. For example, SAP HANA Cloud, will also touch it a little bit. We'll speak about the vector engine that was added beginning of this year to the SAP HANA Cloud portfolio. From the administration perspective of the BTP, we will receive very soon, will be announced the Joule in the cockpits, which will help us to streamline the cockpit operations, create sub-accounts, manage the sub-accounts, destinations, and so on. And we also received a couple of new things, like, for example, BTP Automation Pilot, which will help us streamline CI/CD operations within the cloud. We have a lot of capabilities right now, which are added or announced to be added to the BTP portfolio very soon, but unfortunately we have a limited time, so we'll focus only on 3 of them during our today's presentation. And there will be Generative AI Hub, SAP Build Code, and SAP HANA Cloud Vector Engine. I would like to give a word to Soumya. So Soumya will also present how AWS can help to be on top of innovations with SAP.
Thanks, Sergey. Hello, everyone. Welcome once again. My name is Soumya Shekhar Das, a partner solutions architect with Amazon Web Services, specializing on SAP workloads. So as part of this session, I will discuss AWS offerings, AWS and SAP BTP services that you need to start your innovation journey today. And definitely with the session, you will learn about the AWS differentiators as a cloud service provider, and also how we are bringing operational excellence to your SAP workloads modernization. As you know already that AWS and SAP, we have a very long and strong relationship. And SAP has trusted AWS to power their applications in cloud since 2008, right? Which is far longer than any other cloud provider. So today, SAP runs most of their SaaS products on AWS. That includes Rise with SAP, SAP S/4HANA Cloud, SAP NS2 HANA Secure Cloud, which runs on AWS GovCloud, Qualtrics and Concur, SAP Signavio, part of Rise with SAP offerings, which also runs on AWS. So next, I will talk about the SAP BTP services and the clean core approach. So if you look at this slide, right, you clearly understand that successful SAP customers, they are able to innovate faster by utilizing the clean core approach. And this clean core, that helps our SAP customers to future-proof their SAP investments. That enables rapid experimentations. It avoids any sort of pitfall due to the over-customization as part of SAP version upgrades. So SAP customers today, they are not, they prefer not to customize at the core, rather than they are extending their SAP applications by using AWS services, by using SAP BTP services, AWS partner solutions, and industry solutions from AWS. So if you look at the slides and numbers, there are currently 83 BTP services are running on AWS, which is more than any other cloud service providers. And 13 BTP services are running exclusively only on AWS. That means the powerful services like document information extraction for document processing, SAP Analytics Cloud Embedded Edition for analytics, and even SAP AI Core to manage the AI models, right? You should know that out of 8 AI/ML BTP services, all 8 BTP services run exclusively on AWS. And from a regional coverage perspective, BTP services are running in 9 publicly available regions with AWS, which is also more than any other CSP. 200 plus AWS services and thousands of other features, including those services can be seamlessly integrated with your SAP workloads and SAP BTP services. One important piece here that AWS Solutions Library, that includes partner solutions and partner solutions library as well, that helps you, our SAP customers, to choose off-the-shelf weighted solutions that solves your business challenges without putting in any kind of building effort from the scratch. So next, I will talk about the regions and coverage. You will see how that looks like and where are our BTP services running. So we have 9 AWS regions at this moment where SAP BTP services are up and running, and those services are spread across 9 regions as shown in this slide here. Also, one thing I would like to highlight through this slide, that we are like AWS is the only service, cloud service provider, only CSP with SAP BTP services running in Canada and South America. So with this, let me hand over the presentation to Sergey once again to go over a few compelling use cases so you can learn how you can leverage AWS AIML services, BTP services, GenAI services, and also with a quick demo of the solution. Sergey, over to you.
Thank you, Soumya. So we would like to start with one of the first use case, and I think it's might be one of the most popular use case for nowadays with this new generative AI capabilities with their power. This will be related to business digital assistant development, and we will just explain how BTP can be serving as a central hub for such kind of AI-enabled extensions implementation. And I wanted to start with a very quick background, and I think the message here will be connected to the time as the most valuable asset right now, and the asset that actually drives all of these kind of innovations, drive the necessity of having these digital assistants to be implemented, drive the these innovations connected with LLM developments and so on. And if you will take a look at the picture, you can say that you can see how much time we're actually spending for some routine operations. Like, for example, like several hours per week might be spent for just searching for the information that might be available within a PowerPoint presentation, PDF files, Excels, and so on. So then maybe more from the manufacturing standpoint, there were some reports saying that 12% of engineers in the manufacturing domain, they are doing repetitive operations rather than just reuse what they already built in the past. So amount of time that we are wasting here because of lacking of automation is very huge at this moment. And this is only two examples connected with the search mechanisms by the employees, right? But we also have customers. We have customers who are using the search engines within the product websites, within e-commerce solutions, and so on. And finally, this search of mechanisms or even lack of search mechanisms, they will influence the customer decisions at the end. So it's very important numbers to consider, and it's very important to understand, considering all of innovations that we have currently, how far we are from this ideal kind of automated workflows, which will be connected with all of our business processes. So there is definitely a big, huge potential to be utilized, and of course utilized with the modern services that are provided by SAP and AWS. For us, the main motivator to think about scenarios connected with digital assistant was connected firstly with our workshops. So during the past year, we hosted 6 different workshops, hosting more than 70 participants from the customer side, from the partner side, and SAP side. We used also SAP proven methodology that was provided by the App House, so design thinking methodology that can help to identify real problems and convert them to real use cases ready for implementation. And we identified through all of these workshops that there was one case that was actually very well received by many customers, partners, and colleagues from the AWS and SAP. So the use case was connected with building a digital assistant that can be used to talk to any kind of on-premise data that is available within your organization on-premise network, for example. And what's more important, you might imagine that, yeah, we have this such kind of digital assistant. SAP is developing Joule, but Joule is mainly working with the SAP data, with SAP business objects. The background of whatever we're calling the intelligent assistant for the on-premise data is connected with unstructured data mainly. And in the manufacturing world, I think this is one of the examples. Unstructured data might be represented by so-called CAD files, the computer-aided design files, which might have different formats. These files are typically containing the metadata properties and some text descriptions, and these files might be used by many different independent software solutions. So this is one of the particular example of one file format, but then the question might appear, what if we will have like 10 of different file formats we would like to use for our search mechanisms within our business processes? How we can just build a software which can utilize all of this kind of different formats and provide us the right answer for our questions when we are trying to locate the right information, understand our information, and so on. And the answer might be, yeah, so you can simply get your ERP system, S/4HANA, your file storage, and so on. You can get this kind of digital assistant, which might be implemented like a chat, where you can be typing your questions. And you need to somehow, of course, connect them all together. So then your on-premise data stored in the different proprietary formats, CAD files, PDX files, database tables, TXT files, XLSX documents, and so on, will be then human readable, will be then represented in a way of different tables, KPIs, and so on. And moreover, you will receive live object references, which you can click on and be directly opening the right file, which is stored somewhere in your on-premise network. So the right words, the right answer here will be, we need to somehow connect these two things together. The right connector probably here will be the data storage. So we will just get the data, we'll store this, and then our intelligent assistant might be talking to this data directly. It is not that easy in reality. So talking to this data is more like a generation of the SQL queries, which will be predefined for you. And this is not the right level of the flexibility that we would like to achieve. And again, when we will be storing the data in a table format, maybe we will be missing some important attributes like large text, like images, and so on. How we can represent this at the end in a data storage that will be like a middleware in this solution. So it's not possible in general to build a search mechanism like that. So the answer here might be two additional components that can be added here. First of all, the data preparation layer that can help us to not only just like store this data in the right format for the search, but also like convert the data like pictures, like large text, like some formulas and so on into representation that can be used then later by machine learning models for searching through this data. So the next thing might be the retrieval augmented generation, the process that can help to add additional context to the large language models so they can really understand our data, so they can really provide the right answers, considering our data that we have already pre-processed by our engine here. And moreover, we would like not only to limit to the RAG processing, we would like also to utilize the power of natural language to SQL conversion. So then the large language models can actually understand our query, create the right SQL, and then perform the SQL query against the data storage that we already have here on our site that we have prepared. All of these parts are available within the SAP. So retrieval augmented generation processing and SQL transforming can be done by the microservices deployed as a part of Generative AI Hub. The storage of unstructured data representation can be done by HANA Cloud. with a vector engine inside of it. So it can be helpful to search against the information which cannot be really used for searching, like images, like I said, the large text, large documents, and so on. And finally, the data preparation can be done by some ETL software. And on our side, we are using our DataLark solution. The DataLark is a data migration platform to really convert this unstructured, a large amount of information into more into the data that will be used then later for this vector processing, for the metadata storage within the HANA Cloud, and so on. Few words about retrieval augmented generation, how exactly we did that. So like I said, retrieval augmented generation, this is a process of adding additional context for the large language models so they can really understand our data. When we will be asking something about our models that are available within our repositories, typical ChatGPT will not know anything here. So the answers will be provided, will be not clear, of course. But if we will add this context based on our data, based on our structured data and unstructured data that we have within our on-premise networks and landscapes, that will allow large language models to provide us the right answer. So here you can see that we are combining the structured data with the usage of natural language to SQL conversion. Structured data in our case might be some table data and so on. So natural language to SQL conversion works pretty well here by just generating the right queries to the databases tables that we prepared before. And then unstructured data can be processed by the vector search mechanisms as well. So these two techniques might be combined within the same solution deployed on the top of SAP GenAI Hub. At the end, we're receiving a system like that. So we're receiving the system that can process this data, store this data in a HANA Cloud database with a vector engine. We're receiving the SAP AI core with generative AI Hub, which is working as a bridge between the AWS Bedrock and the HANA Cloud vector engine in our consumer solution, which we use to type the question and ask the questions. So all of these components can be built on top of the BTP services, on top of AWS services, and many of these techniques are already available out of the box. So there is just like plug and play situation where you can just connect one thing with another, just deploy the microservice responsible for generation of vectors, for example, and it works. So the prototype we built already before the Sapphire, but currently it is used as a live example, live tool for some of our customers. We will review a very short demo connected with the intelligent assistant. And on our side, we will just take a look at the maintain bill of material application, which is a standard SAP solution. And we will try to be in the shoes of a BOM engineer. So the engineer who is searching against different BOMs within the database. And of course, one of the steps of his or her work is connected to ensuring that all of the CAD models persist and they are actual, they can be used, and so on. Typically, this engineer is going from this application, from the maintain bill of material app directly to the CAD software and do the search here. But in our scenario, we simplified these things a lot. So we added the digital assistant directly to the standard S/4HANA app. And this digital assistant looks into your proprietary data repositories, SFTP services, and so on. How it looks in reality, and we will just take a look at a very short demo. So you can see the screen of the standard app, and the digital assistant is available here by the click. So I can just start by typing my first prompt when I'm trying to locate the right model within my repository that is not available here. So I can ask a question like, what kind of processor I can use to develop a quadcopter? And the system provides me several answers with even preview pictures and the ability to download these models directly. So system also analyzes the objects which are most relevant or not less relevant. So the one that I can see at the top will be the most relevant for my use case. So more likely this will be the object that I'm searching for. So when I'm typing another kind of prompt, like what DC converter in is compliant with Raspberry Pi, for example, again, the system analyzes all of this data that is currently processed by it, and this might be not specifically descriptions. This might be dozens of different metadata properties that are also taken into the game and analyzed in order to provide us the right answer. So when I'm asking the system these questions, it will actually help me to decrease the time needed to switch me to another application to search here, use maybe not so easy search mechanisms here. I can do whatever I need just within one single application I'm using for my operations. After that, I would like to hand over to Dmitry. Dmitry will be focusing a little bit more on extensibility and clean core. So Dmitry, please, stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Sergey. First of all, I'd like to remind the audience that if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, and we will try to answer them during our Q&A session. So, as you know, my name is Dmitry. I'm head of Corporate User Interfaces Development Department at LeverX and a member of BTP Enterprise Innovation Center. And today I'll demonstrate how to leverage SAP Build Code to create side-by-side extensions for SAP S/4HANA, and how its embedded AI capabilities can streamline the development process for professional developers. Before diving into the demo, I'd like to provide some theoretical background to set the stage. Why is extensibility important, like in general? Software providers like SAP typically develop standard solutions that address common business processes. However, these solutions often can't cover every specific requirement of a particular customer. While it's possible that SAP may address some of these gaps in future releases, many customers will always have unique needs or differentiating factors that are not covered by standard offerings. This is where extensibility becomes crucial, because it allows customers to customize and extend their standard software to meet these specific needs and adapt to their unique requirements. It is also very important to build such extensions in a proper way to avoid potential issues, especially those connected to software upgrades. To address this, SAP has introduced a clean core strategy, which focuses on maintaining a clean and stable core while allowing building custom extensions. To ensure that your extensions comply with the SAP Clean Core methodology, certain guidelines must be followed. The primary rule is to avoid creating extensions whenever possible. So it might sound strange, but sometimes the desired outcomes can be achieved through a proper system configuration performed by SAP consultants with the necessary expertise, without the need for custom extensions at all. It's also crucial to address technical debt from existing extensions created in an old-school fashion before modern practices became available. Many customers, such as those using ECC, still have huge amounts of extensions sitting in their core systems. This should be reviewed and rebuilt according to SAP Clean Core principles to ensure a smooth transition to SAP S/4HANA. SAP BTP is the preferred platform for developing extensions that remain loosely coupled with the SAP core system, because SAP BTP offers a variety of services, including those we've reviewed and will explore further, to streamline and enhance the development process. Meanwhile, SAP S/4HANA provides business events and APIs to ensure smooth integration with these BTP extensions. And last but not least, we need to ensure that the extensions are built adhering to a zero modification policy, which means you cannot modify anything within the SAP core. For those of you familiar with OOP programming, it might be close to one of the solid principles: open for extensions, but closed for modifications. Actually, we can divide all S/4HANA extensions into two groups: on-stack and side-by-side. On-stack options involve development within the SAP S/4HANA environment itself. This can be achieved through low-code methods using user extensibility or through programming on ABAP for developer extensibility using ABAP Cloud. On the other hand, side-by-side extensions. These are applications that are loosely coupled with the core and hosted on SAP BTP, interacting with S/4HANA via public APIs, as we discussed before. These extensions can be developed using a low-code approach with SAP Build Apps, or with a pro-code approach using BTP ABAP environment for ABAP development and SAP Build Code for Java and JavaScript development. And this is exactly what we will see in a few minutes. SAP Build Code is an integral part of the SAP Build portfolio solution you can see currently on the slide. So this portfolio previously consisted of 3 parts. SAP Build Apps, a service for creating straightforward yet powerful applications using low-code and no-code approaches. SAP Build Process Automation, which combines workflow management with robotics process automation to streamline and automate business processes. And SAP Build Work Zone. This is kind of central hub, central entry point for accessing applications and tasks, offering seamless integration with various UI technologies and third-party applications. And as shown on this slide, before the introduction of SAP Build Code, the application building part of this portfolio was limited to low-code and no-code approaches only. With the addition of SAP Build Code, this gap has now been closed, providing a more comprehensive range of development options. SAP Build is one of the fastest growing areas within business technology platform. The rising number of customers utilizing these services, along with increased interest in learning, is driving significant revenue growth for this portfolio. And now, finally, let's look at SAP Build Code itself and its main features. SAP Build Code is a service designed to enhance development efficiency with several key features. It supports cloud application programming model for both Node.js and Java, MDK and mobile services integration, and also includes integrated service center for seamless access to SAP S/4HANA APIs and different services. The tool also provides guided tutorials and project templates to assist you in building your projects. And additionally, it offers unit testing and sample data generation. But one of the most standout features in this service is the integrated SAP Joule Assistant. So this is generative AI assistant, which enables you to generate data models, services, UI annotations using natural language prompts, similar to what Sergey showed for our digital UI assistant, simplifying the development process. And this is exactly what we are going to explore right now. So in the next 10 minutes, we'll build a small prototype for an order maintenance bidding platform. This system will streamline maintenance order management and optimize vendor selection. The applications will provide a couple of features like efficient handling of all maintenance orders, managing and reviewing offers from vendors, with getting the real up-to-date statuses. So now it's time to see the demo. All right, so first of all, we need to go to the Build Code application, and we will be navigating to the old known lobby. And here we can select Build Code and build a full stack application. So as always, we need to provide a project name, we need to provide description, and either create new dev space or select an existing one. So after that, in some time, our project will be created. And once it is created, we can navigate to it. And please pay attention to the name of this tab. It's called SAP Business Application Studio, which tells us that we are still working with Business Application Studio, but this is kind of next generation of it with AI capabilities and some other capabilities. And the most interesting for us today is this Joule. So Joule is just assistant, which can help us to work with a natural language. And the first thing we are going to do, we are going to build a data model and services for our application. And for that, we need to have just 2 entities for maintenance order and for vendor offer. And they should be interconnected, and each of them should contain certain fields. Okay, let's try to generate the structure based on this prompt. All right, so Joule created some files for us. And as soon as we accept these files, you will see in the storyboard that you'll get data models and services generated accordingly. Perfect. Now we have the basis, and we would like to have some sample data to be able to see how our applications work in reality later on. So we have two entities, as you remember, for orders and for offers. And first, we want to generate data for orders, sorry. We would like to add more data to make our demo more interesting. And now we are going to enhance this data because, as you can see on the screen, this is not really meaningful. So for that, we can again use Joule, and we can provide a prompt to enhance the sample data with meaningful entities, and to ensure that if the status is open, last offer received date should be empty, because it doesn't make any sense, right, if you didn't receive any offer. All right, now we accept what Joule generated for us, and we can see that our data really meet our requirements. If the status is open, there is no last offer received date, and we have different statuses for different entries in this table. Now we're going to repeat the same exercise for vendor offers. But we need to have even more data for offers, because it's quite logical that each order can have multiple offers. That's why we need to add 10 additional entries. And we are going to provide prompt to enhance this data as well. So here the prompt is more specific because we have more complicated data, and we need to ensure that all the fields within this table have meaningful data, right? And we also want to ensure that there are different offers for the same order provided to test our application later on. All right, so we did the same exercise, and now we see that we have 15 different entries with different statuses, with meaningful data, with links to our maintenance orders. And now, the next step, we need to improve the logic of our application, especially the creation process of an offer. Because we want such a logic that once offer is created, it should be in submitted status, and the status of the corresponding order should be adjusted as well, and the last offer received on date should be changed accordingly. Let's Joule help us to generate JavaScript code required for this. All right, so we got the result, and we have some function responsible for the handling of this creation process. And now the last step we need to do is just to create UI applications, one for orders, to be able to review the orders we have in the system. And for that, we are going to utilize Fiori Elements application with the list report floor plan. And our main entity is orders, and we will have link to offers. Now the skeleton of the application is created, but we want to adjust this a bit to be able to review on the object page of our order corresponding offers created for this particular order. For that, we need to add additional sections with the table of offers. And as you may see, we do this in a no-code manner. So far, we haven't write any line of code. To configure this table, we just need to add basic columns to be shown by default for our offers table. So we selected these fields, and after that, we are done with our orders application. And now we are going to create another one for offers. This will be a simpler one. We need to provide name. We, again, going to use list report floor plan to create the application. And here we just use corresponding entity. And that's it, because for this application, we don't want to have any links. We just want to allow our users to create and review offers. And after that, we run the applications to see how they work in reality. All right, so now our applications is about to be running, and we are landed to this preview page where we have two web applications, one for orders and one for offers. And first we go to the orders application. Here we have the list of our orders available in the system, and we can see some of them are in open status and don't have received date. So once we navigate to the object page, we have 2 offers related to this maintenance order. And now we are going to create a new one for the same maintenance order. For that, we go to the orders application, press create button. And we are currently on the object page where we need to provide all the data like total price, offer details. I will fix everything for this maintenance order. I need to provide my contact as well as completion time in days. So offer status doesn't make sense. And I need to put a reference to the desired maintenance order. Once I press create button, you can see that the status of my offer changed to submitted, exactly according to the logic we generated using Joule. And now if I go to orders application, I still can see the same list of orders. But if I look at this specific order, I can see that a last offer received date appear and also the status changed to offers pending. And if I review offers, I can see 3 of them now, and I see my offer with all the details. So basically, that was it with regards to demo. We spent about 8 minutes on this demo, and we showed you how quickly and efficiently you can create such basis for your pro code applications. Definitely, there are some issues with these applications, and it requires involvement of professional coders to enhance them. And definitely, at the moment, SAP Build Code and its embedded Joule capabilities cannot cover everything you may potentially need to build these pro code side-by-side extensions, but it gives you a great basis, and it significantly saves your time or professional developers' time, especially in the parts required boilerplate coding, bootstrapping the applications, like time you need to spend to learn the specific syntaxes, for example, of this cloud application programming model. So, and in general, this is a great tool to help professional developers to make their life easier. That was it from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. And this being said, I would like to hand over to Soumya.
Yeah, great demo, Dimitri. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It's amazing. All right. So with this, I hope that all of you enjoyed this demo, right? That Sergey and Dimitri presented here. If you would like to implement something like that, please feel free to reach out to us. We will share our contact details and our LinkedIn profiles and everything at the end of this presentation. All right. So with this, let us jump in a little bit into generative AI and AWS offerings on generative AI. So as you know that we always continue to innovate on behalf of our customers, right? And we have learned that what is actually needed to bring generative AI to you, to your customers, and to your employees. And AWS has taken a comprehensive approach with the generative AI stack by providing significant capabilities across 3 layers. And these 3 layers I have put in the slide. And these 3 layers are infrastructure layer, tools layer, and applications layer. So very first of all, if you look at this performant, cost-effective infrastructure, that includes purpose-built chips like AWS Trainium, AWS Inferentia for foundation model training and inferences. Secondly, in the tools layer, it's a secure, private, easy way to build and scaling your powerful new applications with foundation models with the services like Amazon Bedrock. And the final and top layer is a generative AI powered assistant for accelerating software development and leveraging your own data, your company's data, your organizational internal data by leveraging the services like Amazon Q. And all these innovations are built with the same high bar that AWS is known for, by giving you a broad and deep capabilities of choices and enterprise readiness. Next, I'll talk about some of the recent announcements. All right. So if you look at here, so developing generative AI solutions, that is even easier for you as an SAP customers, right? Because Amazon Bedrock, it brings models into you, and they are all available in SAP's generative AI hub. So with this significant advancement, SAP BTP customers, they are now accessing Bedrock models. That includes Anthropic's Cloud or Amazon's Titan models. And that's how they are building and scaling generative AI applications, all while keeping your ERP core clean. Now, SAP announced plans to use AWS Trainium and AWS Inferentia chips for training and deploying future SAP Business AI offerings. And when they are using Trainium and Inferentia 2 based instances as a proof of concept, SAP engineers, they observed that while training and fine-tuning generative AI LLMs, that is completing in 2 days versus 23 days with the comparable Amazon EC2 instances. SAP also chooses to leverage AWS's extensive global cloud infrastructure to run its own AI assistant Joule, and Dimitri already shown the power of Joule in one of his demo. You should know that at this moment, Joule is running in 4 AWS data centers. One is in the United States in North Virginia, 2 in Europe, and 1 in Sydney, Australia. Okay, let's jump into some of the use cases in a high level, because we already learned about some use cases. And in the next slide, we'll be learning some of the use cases in a very high level, right? So Dimitri's shown you an use case and given demo. Sergey also shown you some brilliant use case and given demo as well. So let me also talk about a couple of use cases here. As you know that with generative AI, our SAP customers, they are unlocking new possibilities, right? As an example, you can see that finance teams, your SAP finance teams, they can uncover new insights in all the new and different ways by conversing with a digital assistant to retrieve specific information. That means you are asking some questions, like as Sergey shown in his demo, that he's asking some questions and he's getting the answers with pictures and how to download it. Same thing, your finance team, they're asking some questions to your system, and the data is retrieved from your system as coming as a text. In another way, your finance team also can ask in natural language prompts in Amazon Q in QuickSight, and that's how they can build an engaging dashboards by leveraging, let's say, as an example, SAP order to cash or procure to pay process data, right? So when you are using this kind of examples and using process data, you are not only creating this text, also creating the dashboards that you can present easily. Probably we'll go ahead and show you some examples and ask you some questions and how it shows. But before that, I would like to show you one thing, that is SAP ABAP Assistant in the next slide. So SAP ABAP Assistant, right? So generative AI from AWS, they can accelerate your IT project lifecycle management as well. When you look at Amazon Bedrock, our SAP ABAP Assistant solution that allows SAP customers, SAP developers to accelerate delivery of new SAP ABAP code for legacy systems by generating code snippets with natural language prompts. And also it generates documentation on legacy standard ABAP code. So basically it's a Eclipse plugin that you download from AWS, install that Eclipse plugin into your IDE, integrate your CLI, the CLI that you install in your system with SAP, with AWS IAM. And once you install that plugin into your IDE, you board in your SAP S4 system or your RISE system. And further, you go to your SAP ABAP editor and you see that, okay, you connect with Amazon Bedrock and you generate code by natural language prompt, or you generate the documentation. Sometimes our ABAPers, they have the code, but they don't have the documentations, right? So once they have the code, they can generate this relevant documentations pertaining to that code, and that makes their life easy. That increases the productivity into a few folds. All right, let's see some of the examples that I have shown in the previous slide. So as you see that Amazon Q in QuickSight, our users, SAP users, they can ask their dashboard some questions in natural language. Natural language, as an example, you can see like, I can think of like, why did the number of orders increase last month, right? And they get response in a form of mini dashboard that illustrates the factors that influence the increase in orders. Also, some questions like, hey, show me sales by region by month as a stacked bar chart, right? And once you ask this question, it will respond with the visuals as a stacked bar chart in seconds. Also, Amazon QN QuickSight users, they can even ask questions like, build me a story about how the business has changed over the last few months. Let's say you given a last number of months, let's say last 2 months or 3 months or 6 months for a business review with a senior leadership. So in that case, in seconds, Amazon Q delivers a data-driven story that can be shared securely throughout your organization to help align stakeholders and drive better decision making. Let's go ahead and learn in a high level what is Amazon Bedrock and some security features, right? So Amazon Bedrock is a key component to many of the generative AI solutions for SAP customers. It is an easiest way to build and scale generative AI applications with foundation models. So Amazon Bedrock, it's a fully managed service that offers a choice of high performing foundation models from leading AI companies like AI21 Labs, Anthropic, Cohere, Meta, Stability AI, and Amazon. So along with a broad set of capabilities that you need to build generative AI applications that simplifies your development while maintaining the privacy and security. Now, Amazon Bedrock's comprehensive capabilities, you can, by leveraging it, you can easily experiment with a variety of top foundation models, customize them privately with your data by using techniques like fine tuning and retrieval augmented generation, as we call RAG, right? And also create managed agents that execute complex business tasks. So when I'm thinking of complex business tasks, let's think about like booking travel or processing insurance claims, creating ad campaigns, managing inventory, all without writing any code, right? So since Amazon Bedrock is serverless, you don't have to manage any infrastructure. We are doing it on behalf of you. And you can securely integrate and deploy generative AI capabilities into your applications using AWS services that you are already familiar with. So as I mentioned earlier, the generative AI models from Amazon Bedrock, like Anthropic's Cloud and Amazon Titan, they are now also available on the SAP's Generative AI Hub, which is SAP AI Core, right? Now, it makes it more convenient for you to incorporate generative AI in your SAP environment while keeping your SAP ERP core clean. Okay, let's talk about some privacy and security and some the best features of Amazon Bedrock. So let me dive a little bit deeper here. As Amazon Bedrock, it is one of the aspects that SAP customers value most. And I see one question here in the webinar. Yogesh asked that, hey, what is about privacy and security? So I would like to address that question as part of this slide. So we built Bedrock with security and privacy from the day one, and security is a job zero in AWS. It's the most highest priority task in AWS. So just like Amazon S3, just like Amazon EC2, just like Amazon RDS, it has the enterprise grade feature that makes it secure. So Bedrock customers, they can trust their data remains protected. None of the customers' data is used to train the original base foundation models. So when you fine tune your model, let me just tell you in a very high level. So when you are choosing one model, you are basically copying that model, making a private version of that model, and bringing it in a secure container, right? Inside your VPC. So basically, you are copying that foundation model, bringing it into your VPC, bringing it on top of one of the container, and now it is accessible only by you, right? And it is you are giving data, you are providing data to that model of the foundation model, the copy of the foundation model which is running inside your VPC. So all data in your VPC with that model that is encrypted at rest and in transit by using the HTTPS connections. And Bedrock enforces the same AWS account controls I would say, sorry, AWS access controls that you have with any other AWS services. Now, Bedrock also supports a variety of regulatory standards, like it is HIPAA eligible. It also can be used in compliance with GDPR, SOC, ISO, and CSA. Okay, let us learn that how also we can connect with Bedrock from your SAP ABAP system in next slide. Probably you also heard a lot about AWS SDK for SAP ABAP, and we have several workshops and sessions on AWS SDK for SAP ABAP. Due to time constraint, I'm not jumping in there, but just would like to say that Amazon Bedrock is one of the 200 plus AWS services that is accessible from AWS SDK for SAP ABAP. That makes it easy for you to incorporate any kind of generative AI capabilities, into your SAP applications by using your familiar SAP ABAP language. Finally, Amazon Q. In the next slide, I will talk about Amazon Q. You should know, because we are discussing about Amazon Bedrock, Amazon Q, and all those use cases, business use cases. So Amazon Q is AWS's generative AI powered assistant that helps making your organizational data more accessible, writing code, answering questions, generating content, solving problems, and also managing AWS resources by taking some necessary actions, right? And Amazon Q is built with security and privacy in mind from the day one, making it really easy for organizations to use generative AI safely, right? So Amazon Q maintains the access control of all your data. That means if you are unable to access any data outside of Q, you cannot access that data by using Q. I hope that makes really sense to you. I would like to give this presentation flow and hand it over to Sergey to conclude our sessions and with some call to action.
Thanks
Sergey,
again, Soumya. It was impressive to see a lot of new things that were added to AWS portfolio. So I would like to talk a little bit about the BTP Enterprise Innovation Center at LeverX, the community that was built on top of the 12 years of cloud expertise with SAP. So we started, I think, 12 years ago already with first implementations on the SAP Cloud Mobile Solutions. And finally, we completed more than 200 projects and how we're differentiating from the others. So we're really participating a lot in different SAP programs. We are building the SAP software, helping SAP to build the software. We also offer a lot of different package service offerings in the SAP, starting from audit and advisory until modernization and migration, helping to build your own center of excellence in the BTP if you would like to drive the digital transformation within your organization. We also have own software, like Bruce mentioned, DataLark. So we would be happy to talk more about potential use cases and learn together with you about how BTP can really help the business with innovations and with automations and so on. As a part of our portfolio offering, we have several steps which can be performed. And our main goal here to help you to maximize your BTP efficiency and became a leader for the cloud transformation within your organization. So if you'd like to learn more, please contact us. We'll just guide you through all of the steps, through the enablement, learning, building the prototypes, launching the final product, and finally expanding. So our team of engineers can perform this work like standalone, end to end, and we also can be consultants to your internal teams and your implementations if there will be any questions. We have a specific package service offerings, including starter packs in BTP assessment, in side-by-side in clean core methodology, advisory and implementation, and AI capabilities as well. So if you would like to start with any of those, please use the links that we have on this slide to talk more about different kind of use cases, capabilities. And of course, if you would like to know more about RISE with SAP on AWS, to know how AWS is supporting the customers with RISE and so on, we will be also happy to be connected there. We will just leave the slide available at the end, so you will be able to scan this and talk to us later. Finally, I think we addressed all the questions that were asked so far. So thank you for the topics. Thank you, Soumya, for helping with the answer. And we would like to leave some of our contacts, and we will be happy to connect in a LinkedIn platform, or please use one of our emails here to talk more about the solutions on BTP, on AWS, and so on. We'll be happy to be connected. So please stay tuned for more webinars, for more interesting events, and happy to be there.